Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. Today I want to sit and discuss what I think is quite an important factor to why a lot of renders look quite fake. Obviously this is with the intention that you want to create realistic renders, objects which look realistic, as if they're meant to be a real object, not more stylized or anything like that. And this is essentially to do with depth, building models, essentially how they're made in real life. So here I have two zappers, which is the latest model which I've made, which I think is a good example of what the problem is here. I see a lot of renders where they kind of look flat and lack depth. This is a huge problem because you're missing out on edge light and bevel light, and just generally things which catch the eye, where first of all when you look at an object you don't really notice it, but it does register to some degree. So if we go in and have a look at the first one here, now this is the one with no depth. If we go into render view here, so you can see here we have the split in the plastic. Now the actual zapper here is actually made in this way, where there's two pieces of plastic which is screwed together with the screws here. They're snapped together, and if you were to make it without this seam, I think that would be the first warning sign that maybe you're not seeing the object as it is. If you're going for realism, you need to make the object how it's made in real life, pretty much. So if we just delete this one side here, or hide at least one side, and we can go localize this. So now you can see the object here. Essentially when we come to the edge we have just stopped, and you can see here it's essentially just a straight line. There is nothing else to it here. Whereas if we come out of this and go to the next one here, and I can show you essentially how this one is made. This one has depth to it. We've made it a solid piece. And what does this give us? If you have a look at our rendered view here, now you can see that we have edge lighting here, where the bevel is actually catching the light. And if we come back and we see if we can just take these two pieces here, and hopefully you can see the difference. From here it's maybe a little bit hard to see it. So hopefully here you can definitely see the difference, where you get the straight black line. And if we came out of this, it would be essentially the same here. Here the same thing. I've not extruded this down. It's just an empty shell essentially. Whereas this one here, we've actually modeled the inside. And again, it gives us the extra depth, the extra realism. If we go to the shaded view here, you can see we get this extra curved light information. You can see we have depth here. You can see that there is more to this object as opposed to this one here. You can see it's just a dark hole. The same for this part here, the grip. Now this is, I find, very important, and it's something I see a lot on models. Now there is exceptions, obviously. If you're building a model which is a part of a game and it's going to be seen from maybe this distance, then it's not so important. I mean, if anything, if you're modeling thickness from this distance, then maybe you're actually going too far. First of all, you don't want to waste geometry with when you're making games. You need to think about the amount of polygons you're actually producing. If this is a big of a part of a bigger scene, maybe you're making a room where this zapper is on the floor. I mean, then yeah, absolutely fine. You do not need to be going so close. But if you're striving for realism and you're making renders from this distance, then this is a big no-no. This is really going to affect your work. And I think it's incredibly important. It's something people do actually need to think about, and I would advise you think about it if you really want to level up your work. So that is essentially the issue. I thought we can to show how you would go about this. So there's two ways to do it. If we just separate this object to make life easier for us. Separate the selection, we'll hide this piece. And right now I have a bevel and a subdivision. And we can hide this one. So maybe it's even easier just to separate this one also and hide it, so we're just working on one piece. So the two ways to actually add thickness to this, the way I actually did in the, if you watch the full tutorial to build this zapper, I've essentially taken the whole of this edge here, faced it, and inset around here, and then X, get rid of the face. So except for a little bit of cleanup here and there, you've essentially got the thickness already, and you can see you have this curve, you have the light information, and it's giving you what you need. You would just need to tighten up a few corners here, maybe with our bevel and so on. So that would be one way. The other way of doing it is actually adding real thickness, and that will be coming here to your modifiers, adding a solidify modifier. Maybe you can try 1 millimeter, not too far away, maybe 0.8, and then you can press only rim, which is basically saying, you can see here, instead of giving the thickness the entire model, which is essentially unnecessary, unless you're 3D printing, then you would need a solid object. But if this is just for screen, you can just get away with pressing only rim, and if we applied that, then here you have your solid point, and then we're home. And this is something I do on all of my models because I do strive for realism. I do want to make my models as realistic as possible. I don't really produce anything for games, and I'm a bit of a pedantic perfectionist, quite honestly. So anyway, have a think about this. I hope it's been informative for you, and it's definitely something everybody should at least consider. Remember, just why are you producing this model, because that is a very relevant factor. You don't want to do more than you need to, but you should not be cutting corners just because you can't be bothered. If you're going to make a realistic model, make the realistic model. So that's all for today. Catch you next time.